Hey everybody, today I'm going to be reviewing and testing Milwaukee's brand new 26-inch Jobsite Workbox. These are available at Home Depot and online, and Milwaukee's claiming that these can survive up to 1,000 drops with a 50-pound load of tools inside without damaging the box itself. So I'm going to put that to the test. I'm not going to be testing this with 1,000 different drops, but I am going to be loading it down with tools and dropping it from various heights just to see what happens and if it's going to sustain any damage. Now, when I initially saw that claim, I figured that they were talking about maybe a drop from a height of 2 or 3 inches. But I contacted them and they said it was actually a drop of 3 feet, which would be basically this box falling off of your tailgate if you're unloading your tools at a job site. You're not going to have to worry about having a plastic box and then it having a big crack down the side of it because you dropped it 1 or 2 times. So hopefully this is going to last a long time for you, and we're going to be able to see exactly what happens when this box will fall from different heights. Now I'm going to load it up with power tools as well as hand tools, and most likely the lid could pop open. I have not tested this at all yet. I have not even put a tool in this box yet, but I wanted you to be there as I test it, and we're going to see together how this box is going to hold up. Before I start filling the box up with tools and actually testing it, I want to go over the features with it. And first we're going to go over the exterior features. On the front they have protected recessed latches that open very easily and they close very easily. And they're not going to catch on your clothing or on your truck or anything on a job site to accidentally pop open. On the top they have a wide grip handle that does have a rubber overmold on it, so it's very easy to hold on to and it's not going to slip anywhere. And if you have this box loaded down and you need help to either load it or unload it, they have pass-through side grips. So they're very easy to hold on to and you can get a real good grip on there in order to lift it, move it around, or have somebody help you. The first thing that I noticed when I opened up the lid itself was this red weather stripping that they have built around the edge. And what that's going to do is create a real nice gasket with the base whenever you have the lid actually closed and latched. And it's going to lock out moisture, dirt, and debris from getting in there and ruining your tools. Now, that is not going to make this box waterproof, but it will make it very water resistant. So let's say you leave it in your truck bed overnight and a light rain comes through. When you come out in the morning, all your tools inside the box are still going to be dry and they're not going to be ruined because that weather seal is going to lock out all that moisture. Now, a few other things I want to talk about, one of them being the removable tool tray. A lot of people have been talking about online wondering why Milwaukee did not actually make this a full-length tool tray. And here is my opinion as to why they did not do that. If you had something like an impact driver and you placed it in the bottom in one of the corner storage pockets, the tool tray would easily fit in over top of that. But the problem's going to come with something like a cordless drill. A cordless drill is a lot longer than a cordless impact. And what's going to happen is you'll place that in the corner, and if you don't have the tool tray over top of it, the lid will still close fine. But because of the clearance issues with this, if they had put a full-size tool tray in here, the tool tray would then hit that drill and it would not close. So that is my opinion as to why Milwaukee did not go a full-length tool tray with this for the smaller parts, simply because it would eliminate a lot of clearance and it would limit your options as far as what you could carry in the box itself. Okay, next I'm going to want to go ahead and load this down with tools. So first I'm going to go ahead and take the tool tray out, and then I'm going to start putting some older tools that I have in here. I'm not going to load this up with good tools just because after repeated drops I could break something, but I will go ahead and load this up with non-functional or extra tools that I have. So I think first we'll go ahead and just throw an extension cord in there. And then we'll go ahead and throw a wrench roll that has a bunch of wrenches from 3/8 inch all the way up to 1.25 inches. So we'll roll this up. This is a lot of weight. And then we'll go ahead and throw that in the bottom. As far as power tools go, all I'm going to be using is an older Milwaukee drill. This is non-functional, but it is a power tool. So I'll go ahead and stick that in here. And then I'm going to go ahead and throw some work gloves in there. In addition to that, we'll throw a caulking gun, a small broom, a hacksaw, a pipe wrench, and then we'll go ahead and put the tool tray in the top, and we'll load that down with some pliers. Well, the pliers won't fit in the tool tray. We'll put the pliers to the side. Throw some screwdrivers in here, as well as a pair of snips, hammers. So, you know, just a typical run-of-the-mill toolbox. So just depending on what you have, we'll just throw it in here. But as far as to add that weight up is what we're going for. We want to have roughly about 50 pounds of tools, and I think with all these tools in here, we'll be very close to that. And yeah, so pretty much here we go. I know that everything's going to fall this tool tray. That's why I'm really not putting a bunch of stuff up there. But I'll go ahead and close the lid now, and now we're going to start the drop tests. Okay, in measuring the height of this actual workbench, we are right at 33 inches. So we're just under 3 feet at this point. I have a feeling that the box is going to pop open, but what I'm going to do is just push it off of here, and we'll see what happens. The lid did pop open. I'll lift it up now, and we'll see if there's any damage to it. Okay, there was no damage to the box itself, only some of the contents fell out. But this time I'm going to try that same test, and I'm just going to put a standard little carabiner hook on the actual latch itself. So where you could put a master lock here or something, I'm going to go ahead and pop this there, and then we'll see if just this little bit of extra is going to keep that box from popping open. And that did hold it in place. It kept all the actual tools from falling out, and you can see it held the lid, and it did not damage anything. But that may be the solution, to always make sure that you have something on here just in case you do drop it. The smallest little latch will keep everything inside. Okay, let's try another angle with a little more force. So I'll just take this and flip it right off the bench. And you can see I put that little carabiner on there, and that actually completely prevented the box from popping open. The latches look like they're designed to open just so it will remove some of that force. But up until this point, I don't see any damage to the box itself other than the scuffing. And there are no cracks, and the latch is still open and shut perfectly fine. Here would be a side impact. And the top latch did not even pop open, but the bottom latch did. Like I said, it looks to me like the latches are designed to basically pop open with force, but there has been no cracking of this. I'll set this down, and really the only problems that I see are scuffing. And that, of course, is going to happen whenever something falls on the concrete. Okay, the time right now is 4:45 p.m. and I'm going to speed this up because what I'm going to do is turn off the video recorder, and I'm going to drop that same box 100 times, and then I'm going to turn it back on, and we're going to see if there's any problems with the box at that point. Okay, now it's about 5:15. I'm absolutely wore out from picking this box up and dropping it 100 times, but we finally got there. Most of the time when it dropped, both the latches would pop open, but if I dropped it on one of the ends, typically one latch would actually stay shut. So what we're going to do now is pop this carabiner off of here, and we're going to take a look at the inside of it. Now on the outside, I've already taken a quick glance at it. There has been no cracking and no damage, with the only exception being all that extensive scuffing from falling on the concrete that many times. But what I did is I flipped it over from different angles. I dropped it on the back hatches, I dropped it on the back edges, I dropped it on the corners, and not just the same way over and over. Because I wanted to make sure that we'll know that it's durable from all angles, not just a certain angle. So we'll go ahead and pop this carabiner off of here. And now we're going to take a look at the inside. So taking this off, throw that out of the way, pop the latches open, and let's look at the inside. Now on the inside, I can see that the tray itself is pretty much undamaged, other than the extensive scuffing, as you can see from the tools banging into it. So the tray did hold up, and there was no damage to that. Now I can see a lot of dirt down the inside of here. I'm assuming that's from the tools just banging around. And it looks like on the inside, where there's little teeth that stick up that the actual tray will latch onto, I guess from the banging around did end up bending some of those, and it looks like it pretty much about snapped the ones on the end off. But that's going to come from tools like this heavy pipe wrench banging around in there. Now, as far as looking at the rest of this, there is no internal cracking, but the only damage that I can see is the actual lid itself, where it looks to me like that pipe wrench would have been banging into it from the different angles. Part of the original mold of the lid does have a section missing right here and right here, but that's going to be from, like I said, the pipe wrench slamming into it. So I'll see if I can fish this piece out now and show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, here's a closer shot of the actual lid itself and the one little area that did break. So you can see I found this in the bottom of the toolbox. That is the little sliver of plastic that's part of the internal, I guess, molding of the lid. And it did pop that little bit out of there when the pipe wrench was slamming into it. Because the pipe wrench, when I opened the lid up, is what was directly underneath of this point. And the handle on the top actually doubles as a clamp. So what I'm going to do is just turn this to the side and put a piece of electrical conduit in here. And then I'm going to take a hacksaw and I'm going to cut the end off. So if you put your foot on the clamp, you can easily cut the end of a piece of conduit right off. So that pretty much wraps up the testing part of the Milwaukee 26-inch Jobsite Workbox. I was very impressed that it did not get completely destroyed when I filled it up with tools and I was throwing it off the workbench onto that concrete down below over 100 times. On the outside of the box, the only damage was the scuffs and the scratches. And then on the inside, the only damage, other than the scuffs and the scratches, were those couple places that pipe wrench actually broke some of the plastic molding. Now, a few other things to keep in mind: this box is made in the USA and it has a lifetime warranty through Milwaukee against manufacturer defects. So let's say the latches break or the handle breaks or maybe one of the pins come out, they'll replace that for you and it's not going to cost you anything. If you like this video, please click like. If you like my channel, please click subscribe. And thanks for watching.